Good morning. This is Harshit, your tech host for today, and welcome to today's Tech News Bulletin brought to you by IT Voice. Click the subscribe button to stay updated. Qualcomm has extended its partnership with Apple to supply 5G chips for iPhones, securing the deal until 2026. This strategic move addresses Apple's challenges in the Chinese market and highlights its willingness to source silicon from diverse chip suppliers. The extension surpasses initial expectations and retains Qualcomm as a chip supplier for Apple for an additional 3 years. Apple's decision to continue with Qualcomm's chips indicates no rush to release its own modem, despite the shift to in-house designed Apple silicon for computers. Qualcomm shares saw a 4% surge following the announcement, while Apple's shares experienced a modest 0.5% increase. The existing supply agreement between Qualcomm and Apple was resolved in 2019, marking the end of a prolonged legal dispute. UBS analysts estimate that Qualcomm's chip sales to Apple in 2022 reached an impressive $7.26 billion. Next up we have WhatsApp. One of the most popular messaging apps globally is reportedly considering displaying ads on chat screens for its users. The chat app is owned by Meta, formerly Facebook, which acquired WhatsApp for $13 billion. WhatsApp's vast user base and active daily users make it a potentially lucrative revenue channel for Meta. However, WhatsApp's chief Will Cathcart has denied these reports, stating that there are no plans to introduce ads to WhatsApp. The potential introduction of ads to WhatsApp raises questions given Meta's history, including the subscription service Verified. While not ruled out entirely, the messaging app could explore features that might become part of a subscription service in the future. Google has been fined $93 million over allegations of misleading users about its location tracking and storage practices. The lawsuit, filed by California's Attorney General, found that Google continued tracking users' locations even after they turned off the location history setting. This practice involved collecting and storing users' location data without their knowledge or consent. Google has agreed to pay the fine and pledged to enhance transparency regarding its location tracking practices. The settlement follows a comprehensive investigation into Google's data handling practices. The allegations revolve around significant discrepancies between Google's claims about managing user location data and how the Attorney General's office asserts Google handled it. Google must now provide clearer notifications before using location data for targeted advertising and seek approval from its internal privacy working group before implementing significant privacy-related changes. The Department of Telecommunications (DOT) in India is partnering with the National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) to conduct crucial testing of the Cell Broadcast Alert System. This collaborative effort seeks to enhance emergency communication capabilities during disasters and critical situations. The testing will encompass every telecom service provider across India, evaluating the efficiency and effectiveness of their emergency alert broadcasting capabilities. The Cell Broadcast Alert System is a cutting-edge technology employed by government agencies and emergency services to deliver time-sensitive and critical messages to mobile devices. Its primary aim is to ensure the swift and reliable dissemination of vital information. During the testing period, simulated emergency alerts may be transmitted to assess the system's readiness and effectiveness. These simulated alerts are a planned part of the testing process. OnePlus is teasing the launch of an affordable version of its OnePlus Pad tablet in India. The original OnePlus Pad tablet was priced at Rs 37,999 in India. The affordable variant could potentially be called OnePlus Pad Go and aims to offer a more budget-friendly alternative. The OnePlus Pad is known for its flagship MediaTek Dimensity 9000 SoC, a 9510 mAh battery, and 65-watt Super VOOC charging support. The upcoming OnePlus Pad Go may feature a less powerful processor and a more compact display. Charging speed might be capped at 67 watt or 80 watt, unlike the OnePlus Pad's 65 watt Super VOOC charging. OnePlus aims to expand its tablet offerings in India, challenging competitors and targeting cost-conscious consumers. Next up we have Infinix has launched the Note 30 VIP Racing Edition, a smartphone by Transsion Holdings sub-brand. The device is powered by a MediaTek Dimensity 8050 SoC and shares several specifications with the regular Infinix Note 30 VIP. Infinix partnered with BMW's DesignWorks for this edition, featuring a tricolor light band on the rear panel and a BMW-themed retail package. It runs on Android 13 with XOS 13 and features a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate. The device offers up to 12 GB of RAM and ARM Mali G77M-C9 3D GPU and 5G connectivity. It includes a triple rear camera setup and a 32-megapixel front camera. The Infinix Note 30 VIP Racing Edition incorporates an in-display fingerprint sensor and weighs 190 grams. Infinix is known for delivering budget-friendly smartphones with competitive specifications. At last, SAP Labs India Managing Director Sindhu Gangadharan aims to double the company's share of global SAP patents. The company also intends to add 3,000 jobs annually as it invests more in artificial intelligence AI. SAP Labs India aims to double its AI talent base by 2024. The goal is to counter concerns that emerging technology could potentially hinder job growth. India represents SAP's fastest growing region with 40% of its global research and development R&D activity based there. The company plans to incorporate generative AI across its products to better serve evolving client needs. Gangadharan emphasizes the importance of a regulatory framework for AI, advocating for a balance between responsibility and flexibility for end users. This is Harshit signing off. Stay tuned and follow IT Voice for the latest tech news.
स्कैम 2003 जैसे हर्षद मेहता का स्कैम था, इस सीरीज के बारे में बात करते हैं जिसमें अब्दुल करीम तेलगी की पूरी ये सीरीज से हमें पता चलता है कि कैसे एक फ्रूट सेलर बना है इंडिया का सबसे बड़ा स्कैमर। उसने फ्रूट सेलिंग का काम बंद कर दिया और वो मुंबई चला गया। मुंबई में उसने ट्रैवल एजेंसी खोली और वो लोगों को कल बेचता था। ये चीज बहुत जल्दी पुलिस के सामने आ गई और उसे जेल में डाल दिया गया। उसकी वहां पे मुलाकात हुई राम रतन सोनी से। उसने आइडिया दी स्टैम्प पेपर के स्कैम के बारे में, बताया कि ये फैक्ट्री, आप इस फैक्ट्री को ले लोगे तो यहाँ पे आप इतने सारे प्रोडक्शन हाउस बना सकते हो। पूरे 30,000 करोड़ का स्कैम कर दिया। ये 30,000 करोड़ का स्कैम है। जब ये सामने आया तो 2001 में इनको जेल हो गई। इनकी जेल होने के बाद 2017 तक ये जेल के अंदर थे, उनकी डेथ हो गई वहाँ पे और ये सीरीज बाहर आ गई। तो आपको भी कैसी लगी सीरीज जरूर कमेंट करके बताइएगा। और जिन लोगों को स्कैम 2003 के बारे में शॉर्ट में जानना है तो इस वीडियो इनके साथ जरूर शेयर करिएगा। मिलते हैं नई वीडियो के साथ। फॉलो IT शॉर्ट्स फॉर मोर।